Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mike Nierychlo Online. So today's episode I'm going to do a little bit of a different format. Yeah, we're in the garage, but I'm going to take you from your computer screen on a bit of a field trip. I had the privilege of spending the other day up in Oliver, British Columbia with a, I don't want to say it, they're not a newer winery. They've been around for quite a while. The winery is called Hester Creek, but they've been floating a little bit under the radar for a while, and they've decided it's time to put themselves on the scene and get themselves known again. In doing so, they've put up this amazing new facility, picturesque facility. Not many other like it in the Okanagan. There's several. I mean, a beautiful view of the valley, which you can see all of Oliver, the Golden Mile Bench, which they're sitting on, which is considered one of Canada's top growing regions or areas of the Okanagan. As well, what can I tell you about the place? Like I said, beautiful, huge facility. They've built themselves right into the side of the mountain, which is really cool. Blasted out the side of the mountain. Put themselves right in there. In doing so, it's allowed them to stay, or they're trying to keep a bit greener. They're using the geothermal energy of the ground to heat and cool the facility. Like I said, in the side of the mountain, they've built in their monstrous winemaking facility, which is kind of being spearheaded by Rob Summers. He's a veteran of winemaking. He's been around for, I think his portfolio is like 20 years long or so, mostly from the Ontario region, but Kurt Garland, the owner of Hester Creek, brought him over here. They both kind of have the same vision for the place. They really want to make it go somewhere. I think they're trying to ramp up production. Their goal is around 35,000 cases, so they want to become one of the big players in the Okanagan. As well, they have a beautiful tasting room. Like I said, you can see the view from everywhere. A really neat demonstration kitchen they put in, a very picturesque demonstration kitchen, where they'll bring in chefs for the day just to hang out. When I was up there, they had, shout out to him, Roger Planeden. He created some great meals for us, had a beautiful time with him. And what else? Yeah, a neat dining area. One of the features, I think one of the main features of the place a lot of people can appreciate, is the new villas they put in. Up on top of the hill behind them, they put in these amazing picturesque villas. You've got this view of the entire valley right from your bedroom window. And yeah, it's just really neat. So if you're looking for a cool place to stay, a nice getaway, a honeymoon even, what have you, they've got a great setup there. Like I said, food as well. Rob Summers took us through the vineyards, hung out with us, showed us, I mean, they've got, I think they own about 95 acres in the area, about 75 which or so are planted. They've got some amazing old vines growing on there, some old Cab Franc, Trebbiano. They've got all kinds of neat grapes growing on the property. I mean, when I was there, excuse me for a sec, but they all chuckled at me. But I took home a piece of their Cab Franc vine. Look at that. This is probably, they said it's from the mid-70s or so. So this is a good gnarled old piece of pine. That was great. Yeah, talked about their vines. Like I said, they've got some really cool old gnarled vines and they're probably producing some neat fruit. And yeah, what else can I tell you about them? That's really about it. I can only talk so long about a winery though. Like I said, I had a great visit up there, hanging out with everybody. As well, the thing that I think stood out to me the most, other than the villas and the views and all that, was the staff they had up there. The staff were so friendly and accommodating and just welcoming. You felt like you were at home, and you felt welcomed to the open arms, which is a great feeling when you walk into a winery. And I think that's kind of what BC and the Okanagan is all about. I mean, we're Canadian. It's the way we are. So like I said, I can only talk so long about a winery and facility. I've got to taste some of what they're making to see what they have to offer. So I brought back with me, we've got the 2008 Hester Creek Pinot Blanc. Show you the bottle here. Now let's see what they have to say. Ooh, okay. This has got a really nice nose to it. It's extremely aromatic. It's just like leaping out of the glass. Oh, there's a lot of neat like stone fruit coming out. Some nice peach. Definitely some apple coming through. A bit of pineapple. What else would I say there? Yeah, it's got a beautiful minerality as well, kind of like a wet sand or something. I could smell this for a long time. It's quite aromatic. Very savory smelling, like it just makes you want to sip on it. Yeah, and I think the palate's a fairly decent reflection of the nose. It's got a really nice tart green apple to it. Again, with that a bit of tropical play. If you kind of cross pineapple and some stone fruit, pineapple and peach, and maybe a hint of guava or something in there. It's got a nice bit of a creaminess, which is grabbed by a tart acidity that helps keep it clean on the way down. This would be a nice food-friendly wine, but as well, it would just be a great sipper. And Pinot Blanc is another one of those varieties that they talk a lot about in the Okanagan. It's an up-and-comer and does quite well there. I like this one. It's dry, it's very fresh. Yeah, the aromatics just leap out of the glass. I would say this is a good wine. It's a good to great wine. I like it. So you can find this one, 2008 Pinot Blanc from Hester Creek. I've seen it in a lot of places. Like I said, look out for Hester Creek. They're really trying to ramp up and get on top of the radar instead of below it. And I think they're going to surprise you with some of the quality of some of their wines. So the 08 Hester Creek Pinot Blanc, I think I'll give it, I'll give this 88.5 points for quality, and I like this wine. It's nice. I would buy more bottles of this. All right, the next one. We've got their Cabernet Merlot, and this one I believe is a blend of, it's somewhat of a Bordeaux blend. It's Cab Franc, Merlot, and Cab Sauv. And again, Cab Franc, like I mentioned, and that piece of vine that I picked up there, Cab Franc does really well in the Okanagan, especially in the Oliver area. It makes great wine as a single varietal, and it works great for blending. All right. And both these wines, I believe this one's about $16, the Pinot Blanc, and I believe this one's $18 or $20, but I'll have the final prices for you below. So you want to have a look at the color of that. It's got just a beautiful, clean ruby color. Okay, on the nose, I get actually a lot of, it's got a nice plum coming through. Plum, definitely some black currant. Yeah, plum, some black currant, some nice, a little bit of black cherry, like big, thick black cherry. As well, it's got a nice, slight hint of, like it's got a slight hint of a herbaceous or vegetal play. I'm almost giving it that kind of sense of place or terroir. And a slight vegetal play, almost, I want to venture to say slight green bell pepper, but ever so slight, just nicely integrated. Gives it that little bit of savoriness on the nose. What vintage was this? I think I said it was the 2008. Did I show you that already? All right. Okay. Now what I've noticed with quite a few of their wines is they're quite fruit forward. They have a Reserve series as well, and they keep their price point quite nice as well. The Reserve series is all around $25 or so. Like I said, these are all under 20. So on the palate on this one, there's a lot of like dark black fruit coming through. A lot of that black currant really displays on the palate on this one. It does have a nice kind of peppery play. Yeah, a little bit of a nice peppery play, kind of savory. Not a whole heck of a lot of depth to layers in this wine, but like I said, it's still a lot of berry and a lot of fruit. I get a hint of, I think, that plum, some of that pepper. The nose and the palate are fairly reflective of each other. This would be a great everything wine. This would be a great wine just to buy, to bring to parties, to hang out. If you just want a wine to have at home, to sip on the evening that you don't want to break the bank on, that is still enjoyable, I would seek this one out as well. It'd be a great food-friendly wine. You could pair this one really nicely with, say, some pork, or pork. This would probably go nicely with some lamb, even steaks. It would very well hold its own with a big like peppercorn steak or something like that. I mean, the Pinot Blanc, I really like. It leaps out at me. It stands out. This one, still a good wine. I'll rate it a good wine. I'll say I'll give it probably, let's say, 86.5 points. This is built as a, I think it's their attention too. It's kind of an everybody drinker, something that everybody's going to enjoy. So like I said, it doesn't have a whole huge amount of depth of layers to it or anything like that, but it is a nice wine. It's a nice drinker. There's nothing off about it, nothing wrong with it. It's a good wine. So there we go. That's Hester Creek. It was my privilege to hang out with them for that day, so I just want to say thank you very much to everybody at Hester Creek for your hospitality. I had a great day with you. And thanks for sharing your facility, your wines with us. And for everybody watching, when you see Hester Creek, they've got a fairly unique bottle, fairly unique label. You see it out, try out their wines. They're doing a nice job. And they've got lots of growing to do, just like the rest of the Okanagan has to do. But a huge amount of potential there. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching today. Thanks for enjoying a little bit of the scenery at Hester Creek with me. And we'll see you on the next episode.